Welcome to the bush. We're just going to do a simple gear update here. I've been eyeballing these for a while now. This is the Dewalt 60 volt electric chainsaw with 16-inch bar. So I have used this once now, and I'm going to use it for the second time today, trying to clear up some of this stuff. I realized very quickly, especially with only a tarp roof and with the walls not finished and everything in the cabin, that the wood stove eats a lot of wood. And sawing this, even though the Sugawasa is great, I really wanted a chainsaw. I didn't want to mess with gas. We actually have an old gas chainsaw in the garage, but I never really messed with it much. They're so cantankerous. I just wanted something that when I pull the trigger works. And I don't need to cut multiple hours worth of wood. So one battery charge, we'll see how far it gets me. But the reason I went with Dewalt is because I already have Dewalt power tools, like my drill. And so this way I can keep my batteries on the same platform, as a lot of people do with their power tools. Anyway, enough chit chat. Let's fire this thing up. It's pretty well brand spanking new. I used it some yesterday. We still have 3/4 of a tank of oil, and the chain is the right tension, and everything's good to go. So without further ado, I'm going to do some cutting here. Well, here we have it. I didn't want to spend the whole video just showing me cutting logs, but the Dewalt finally ran out of juice, and it's step 230. I decided to wait. I decided to wait till I was done using the chainsaw before I had a step 2. Yeah. Anyway, you can see the massacre behind me. You can see what has happened. I probably cut 70, I don't know, maybe 50 pieces of wood. Enough for a nice little wood pile. And I cut through some tough stuff, because we're talking black locust. And what's great is the sun is setting behind me, and my battery ran out just perfectly on time. A couple things. Here's something really cool. I'm going to go ahead and pull the battery out of the saw, and I'm going to show you this. The battery actually has a life. It has a 1, 2, 3 green dots on it, and when it gets down to the 1, it dies. But the battery's actually warm. I really did a lot of cutting. I'll show you the massacre here. So, honest to God truth, no, you're not going to cut a lot of wood at one time with an electric chainsaw. If your goal is to cut a truckload of wood, then use a gas chainsaw like everybody else. But if you're looking to cut a little firewood for your cabin, for your little off-grid cabin in the woods, then I think the Dewalt electric chainsaw 60 volt platform, I think, is pretty good. One thing that I need to check in on is see what a new chain costs, and I also need to see what a replacement battery costs. If you had two batteries, you know, you could obviously keep going, but we've probably got it may not look like it, but there's probably almost a half a truckload here of wood. So if two batteries would cut you a truckload of wood, then hey, maybe you could use it for a whole truckload of wood. But I'm just looking for like a wagon load, an arm load at a time. So something like this electric chainsaw, I think actually might work out great. Before I end the video, one of the things I want to do is I want to test it out, and I want to see if we can recharge the battery using the EcoFlow solar generator, and I want to see how much percentage of the EcoFlow that's going to take to recharge that battery. This did a lot of work. If you were to do this all by hand, it would be an extremely long time. It would be a lot of work. So I'm curious to see how the EcoFlow does at recharging the battery, because then I could recharge the battery at the cabin if I had the appropriate solar panels and whatnot. So see, I'm getting things going here. It's a lot of fun. Do you hear that? That chirping sound? That's called a spring peeper. This is very early for spring peepers to be out. Typically, chorus frogs are the first frogs you hear around here. Chorus frog sounds like running your fingers through a comb. Last year, the chorus frogs came out almost a month before the spring peepers. This year we have spring peepers first. Today's the first day I've heard any frogs. It was 20 degrees out 2 days ago. Keep in mind, actually it was lower than that. It got down into the teens or even the tens just a couple days ago. I truly believe that in northern Missouri, southern Iowa, we live in a magical zone. We live in a very magical place because we're right on the line of different climates. And here, as I said, it can go from 10 degrees to 50 degrees, just like that. And it's just pretty amazing how just a few days ago we had snow here. And now we have this total spring environment. Alright, boys and girls, we're back at the house now, and we've got our EcoFlow Delta 1300 here, charged to 100%. And we have the 6 amp hour 60 volt flex volt battery from the chainsaw. And let's just see what kind of power draw this is going to have. I'm guessing it's going to be quite a lot. Okay, as long as this light is blinking, then this battery is charging. Once this light is solid, then it is charged. What we're pulling down here for wattage is 69, so almost 70 watts. I can charge this pack for 20. It just dropped down to 19, kind of bouncing back and forth. So, but the pack only takes a little over an hour to charge. So, let's see how much. I'll come back when the pack is charged, and let's see how much battery percentage it takes to cut all that wood that we cut today. Alright, boys and girls, we're back. The pack is fully charged, and it has used approximately 8% of the battery. This is some pretty awesome news. This means I could be at the cabin and could easily stay a couple days and recharge the chainsaw probably at least twice. and still have the energy to run my lights and do everything I need to at the cabin. Well, thanks everyone for watching. This has been the gear review for the Dewalt 60-volt chainsaw. I really like it. It does everything that I need it to do and then some.